Hello everyone, and welcome to patch 5.5 MSQ. I am so excited for this. You guys have no idea. Actually, most of you probably have a pretty good idea. You guys know me by now. I dare say, but welcome in. Look, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to jump straight into it. Although, there it is. There it is. There's our trailer tie-in. Thank you, Alphino. In the face of this new draconic threat, would indeed benefit from Estinian's presence. I do kind of wonder, right, like, whether the Dragoon kind of skill set would translate to fighting primal dragons. I imagine it would, right? Like, they kind of behave the same way. They're big, flying, scaly boys, right? Kind of face them the same way. Stay away from the hot, pointy end. No? Just me? Okay. Yet I cannot help but wonder how Kral and Tataru intend to locate him. He certainly seemed confident, however. Okay. On to the breach. Oh, I'm shaking. Good news, Ethys. Thancred and Urianger have finished their tour of Garlemald and are on their way back here, even as we speak. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank you. That is such a relief. Man, when we saw the Endwalker trailer, right? And we saw what happened to Garlemald, my first thought was, oh no, Thancred and Urianger. Oh no, they're not in this trailer. Oh, what has happened? Oh, I am so relieved. Oh my goodness. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say, eh? Ah, welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credit must go to Alize, Graha, and Ethys. I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threats, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back, though I can't help noticing that we're one Urianger short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? I couldn't lose him if I tried, and I did try, repeatedly. But no, he decided to linger in Alamigo to apprise Raldon and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. Then mayhap you would do the same for us? Indeed, it was just as Lys said. Worse, in fact. Devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and the Third, however, were notable by their absence. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Perhaps. Or perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather transform it. Transform it? Into what? That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Urianger, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind. Magitech, in other words. Now that's interesting. That's sort of implying that the tower is being built rather than sort of sprouting more organically, as perhaps we were supposing. Yet as unnerving as said edifice was nothing next to the sights of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed. Or tempered. Okay, well that explains Nova and the Third, doesn't it? We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions it seemed wiser not to take the risk. If Fandaniel could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. Yeah, I was wondering if the towers weren't constituting some kind of like massive Neuralink almost. That it perhaps had the dual function of tempering and compelling people into summoning. Well, be sure to save some for Urianger. Which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Raubon is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence. Then why not leave that to us? You must be weary from your mission. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. In that case, I shall stay behind. I shall stay and begin looking into another matter, as I promised Kryl. We need not all attend. Very well. I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we'll have to speak with Urianger before the meeting. Oh, you know I'm always down for more time to speak with Urianger. So what's this other thing, Gestaler? If you're curious to know what I will be doing in your absence, let us speak of it another time. At present, Kryl and I have no more than a hypothesis. Oh, come on, don't do me like this. That's Urianger's trick. Alright, let's see how my best boys are doing. They say Grahati is a versatile combatant who excels at all roles in battle. I should very much like to test my blade and shield against him. Okay, I don't think that's a new dialogue. What about you, Coltone? Already challenged you once before, and now he has his sights set upon Grahatia. I fear history is about to repeat itself. Ori, if you try and fight Grahatia, he's going to become Grahanun, like, very, very quickly. And, I hope I don't need to explain to you what that means for you. No? Just me? Okay. Alright. I mean, he's gonna make you his bitch. Alright. Peace out, Hori. No? Just me? Hori trying to take on Graha is the side story we deserve, honestly. Alright, where's... Ah, here he is. Here's my boy. While we may safely assume that the Telophoroi are behind the works being carried out in the Imperial Palace, we can only guess at their purpose. The Royal Menagerie is still closed to civilians. Fandaniel and his pets certainly left their mark. I wonder if there have been any developments regarding the Amaljar abductions. It can be no mere coincidence that the incidents began occurring just as the towers first appeared. No, I imagine we'll be getting to that very soon, Graha. Although I was only in Revenant's Toll for a short while, I did manage to squeeze in a brief drink with Flamin. Spring water only, it being a flying visit. Oh, well, that's good. My friends, much and more have I heard of your travails in our absence. Heartened am I to see you all hale and whole. As we are to see you safely return from your mission, Urianger, I trust Thancred made you feel welcome. Well, well, if it isn't Alphino and his merry band. Ah! Yes! Oh, I love Arenvold. Arenvold! Whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission. I know saying this isn't part of it. But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. I thought you've grown a bit taller after a whole year in another world, but apparently not. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body is hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Elezen are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of our height. Mark my words, the day will come when even a great Oryx such as yourself will crane your neck to meet my eye. A little insecure there, Alfie. Aye, 'twas not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Moonbreeder towered over me nonetheless. Okay, well that's... Yeah, so Elezen tend to live, on average, a couple of decades longer than Hyur, which is obviously far less than elves in most kind of fantasy canons. But yes, we have known for a long time that most of that is a kind of elongated adolescence, basically. So, Alphino right now, depending on how you perceive the time bubble, could be anywhere between 16 and 20. Yeah. So, fun fact, I think perhaps with the exception of Shadowbringers, Alphino actually got a little bit taller in Heaven's Ward. His model got like a couple inches taller, and then a couple of inches taller again in Stormblood. So, I mean, it's quite possible that he might suddenly have like a huge growth spurt. Maybe, you know, between 6.0 and 6.1, we'll have like a year sort of time lapse or something, and suddenly the twins will be like 7 feet tall. Who knows? Arenvold brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company. It's almost endearing. Estinian's got some competition. Excuse me. I hope these aren't death flags for Arenvold. I'm gonna cry if anything happens to Arenvold. So what exactly brings you here? Oh, for Dola mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers? Eh? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You have a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? If Fordoro is going with him, that must mean... My apologies. As Arenvold rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let's be about it. Now, I know there's going to be some dialogue changes depending on whether or not you've done the Summoner level 80 questline at some point here. And I have not, so I'd be very, very interested to kind of go back and like replay these cutscenes once I've done it.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. 'Tis no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Telophoroid's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
It was really serendipitous timing with the Porksies, wasn't it?
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar. And that was the last thing they remembered.
An ear-splitting roar. Like a keening kind of roar, perhaps?
But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses. And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
So the Empire is the common thread.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first. Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
Ooh, yes.
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
Oh, I'm so glad to have Fedora back. I love her so much.
Gifted or not, Going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, I'm so happy that we're getting both of these two back in the MSQ. If it's small talk you're after, look elsewhere. Alright, Fornola, come on. Come on now. Good to see you too. I accept that numbers can prove a hindrance when infiltrating enemy territory, but to send only 2? I'm sure these two have been lifting like crazy. In fact, we know they've been lifting like crazy. Now that's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore.
So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamoldva and Vmar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
And you, Fordola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Aldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
So the Empire's finished, is it? Well, that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat. And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head! I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Has no one told her what we learned?
If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
Did no one tell Fordola about the conversation that we had with Varus about us finding out that Solus was Emmet and the whole Empire was just a calamity machine? I guess she has to see for herself. Oh my god, look at his tiny little fist. That's so cute.
If you finished with your
He's so small.
I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate exactly?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way. Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Capable is a strong word, Alfie.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, eh?
So I'm seeing a little bit of confusion here. So to clarify, the Telophoroi are... Oh, hang on. The cutscene's not over.
It means a lot, you know. You coming with me?
Oh god, I don't like
Stays
these.
in my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I don't like these death flags I'm getting from
I dare say you'll
Arenvold.
get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway. But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming. I realise I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light, or Alphino for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime. No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try. They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
Oh. I'm really nervous now.
He does not want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
Ah, bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru. Ah, I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian. And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut. But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
Gladly. I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
Alright, Godspeed. Yeah, so to clarify, the Telophoroi is the faction that Fandaniel mentioned at the end of 5.4 when he showed up with Lunar Bahamut. He basically said, he basically, to sort of paraphrase, said that this new faction of his dedicated to bringing about the final days is the Telophoroi. And we don't really know anything more about them other than what we can sort of speculate and extrapolate. We don't know really what they want. We don't know whether or not we should believe what Daniel says about just wanting to die. But we're learning now that apparently a lot of the Imperials have been tempered to this kind of ideal of Daniel's and are kind of now part of this Tolofroi and working to enact whatever his ultimate plan is. And as for Fadola and Arenvold, the thing I really, really love about those two and them being paired together is that they are really two sides of the same coin. They were both born in Alamigo. Due to different circumstances, they were both kind of rejected and abused by both the Garlean and the Alamigan sides. You know, sort of cast out. But you have them taking such dramatically different paths and ending up with such dramatically different outlooks, despite having very similar experiences. And it allows them to sort of, you know, connect with each other and really kind of empathize with each other. And it's just, it's nice. It's nice and it's really compelling. At least to me. Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. His was another name that featured prominently in the history books. It'll be fascinating to meet the man in the flesh. Grahar is... oh, man. Grahar is such a fanboy. I get the impression Arenvold is a lot more apprehensive than he lets on. It would have been grateful Alphino was there to see him off. Grahar is all of us, yeah, pretty much. So Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there's no time to lose. He's probably just trying to hitch a ride with, Vidofnir? Or Verfolnir? One of those two. Those load times, by the way. Oh my goodness. Like, I didn't even notice that. That was wild. I got 14 on my SSD, and the latest update for, you know, PS5 has also massively reduced load times on SSDs. I've only visited Ishgard once before, after the devastation of the 8th Umbral Calamity. To see the place in all its former, forgive me, in all its original glory is a tantalizing prospect indeed. Assuming we find him, this will be my first encounter with the famous Estinian. Oh, truly? I suppose it will be, won't it, Alize? And if he's half the man Alphino claims, I fully expect to go weak at the knees. Perhaps do a bit of fainting while I'm at it. Oh my god. Oh, shots fired. All present? Good. Let us split up and search for Estinian. Since we're relatively new to this place, Grahar and I will look around the open spaces, the squares and markets and whatnot. You and Ethys can delve into the nooks and crannies. Very well. Let us reconvene at the airship landing later, with or without Estinian. Good luck. I think I should begin at the Sky Steel Manufactory, so perhaps you should try the congregation. Lucia may well have heard news of our friend's return. I was about to say, like, that'd be the first place to go. Yeah, Alfie's crush on Estinian is very endearing. Is extremely endearing. Oh, it's so nice to be back in Eorzea, isn't it? Hello, Sir Andalou. Day by day, the people strive to restore Ishgard to its former glory. Yet the Telophoroi would seek to undo all that we have achieved and threaten not only our fair city, but the entire world. As ever, we Temple Knights are ready to fight to the last. Good morrow to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Emmerich sent word that you would be attending the meeting in Alamigo, so I gather you have not come in search of him. To what, then, do we owe the pleasure of your visit? I see. We were not aware Sir Estinian had returned to Ishgard, but as I expect you remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking an audience with Lord Emmerich, only to find him absent? In any event, I'm afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. The thing about Ishgard that I think is perhaps important to remember is that it's much older than any of the other contemporary Eorzean nation states. Like Gridania, for instance, is only about 500 years old. And modern Uldar is also like less than 1,000 years old. Whereas, you know, even contemporary Ishgard, even sort of Dragon Song War Ishgard, is 1,000 years old. Sir Estinian is every bit as elusive as Rianjay suggested.
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
Uh-oh. He's mistaken them. Oh, God.
Too long?
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alphino.
Twice as rugged. Oh my God. Oh, and his voice as well. He sounds so horny. Oh God, Estinian, no. You can't talk to him like that. He's a minor. Uh-oh.
Sloppy. Quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
Oh, this is sending me. Oh, God.
I am not Alphino! If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Oh, had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Oh, man.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side. To think the day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
Oh, poor Estinian. Poor Estinian.
someone mind explaining what is going on?
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long.
Oh my god.
No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Estinian's like, oh, it's like all my name days are come at once.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
At least someone's having a good time.
It's like all my name days have come at once.
You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
Sees him as the brothers he never had. I think he learned how to talk with people rather than at them. I mean, all of these are very good. Although, that's kind of a shot at her. That's a bit mean.
Good luck to them. It hasn't been easy being his sister, I can tell you that.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azis La.
Azis La? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azis La, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation.
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azisla together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard. Ugh! I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
Oh no, Alize is going to fall in love with him now as well.
I will admit, he's not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt.
Tiamat summoned Bahamut once before. She may have again, willfully or no. Yeah, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? So this is the Delta Quadrant where countless dragons yet lie imprisoned, the great Tiamat among them. Not to complain, but I didn't expect to find myself here again quite so soon. Yeah, we have been spending a lot of time in Azis La, haven't we? It has been quite some time since I last set foot in Azis La, but I understand the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet with Tiamat during your visit. Alas not. We had no course to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Well then, Ethys is the person to ask. As far as I know, he's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. Yeah, it helped the Midgard Zormrois had introduced me. Yeah, right? Ah, yes. You're a friend of her father. Friend is a strong word. I too have met with Tiamat. After the Dragon Song War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance, and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. Torments her, even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Idhog. Excuse me, hold on. I need to take a sip of water here. Excuse me, friends. I've been a little bit under the weather, so my voice tends to be giving out a little bit quicker than usual. Nidhogg is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own, and I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. It's interesting. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. It was the Asians who taught Tiamat the secrets of summoning, even as they supplied the Alligans with the means to capture primals. So much suffering, all of it by design. The Azure Dragoons of history were the mortal enemies of the dragons, but now they would be hard-pressed to find a soul who understood them better. Our grandfather sacrificed everything to protect the realm from Bahamut. Must be prepared to do the same. Yeah, it's... I think Estinian's arc is so fascinating, how he basically mind-melded with Nidhogg and realized that they were so similar. And even now, it's kind of like... This is a super nerdy comparison, but it's kind of like in Star Trek, whenever you have two characters that experience a mind meld, they have this kind of inextricable bond and they sort of become like permanently a part of one another. Tiamat awaits. This way. Bit like us and Ardbert. Yeah. It's hard to know what the extent of that is with us and Ardbert, honestly. I'm seriously getting chills being back here. I've been waiting for this since, what, 2015, right? Oh my goodness. So this is one of the 7 great worms. Even thus confined, her presence is overwhelming. Resigned to her fate though she may be, I cannot help but feel that we may be able to help Tiamat. She only let us. To think that man is responsible for all this, and so much else that dragonkind has suffered.
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
Oh, poor T. Now that's interesting.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Mm-hmm. But when we shut down the coils, they died. The coils were acting as life supports for the Mericidian dragons that were there. So they're the ones up here on Azaz Lar. But the ones on the surface...
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering.
Ah, yes, Estinian.
But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentations see the perpetrators punished.
You can tell that he's speaking with Nidhogg's voice there, can't you?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
It is.
Santalan infan antosk, Kaush lent an. Ale o es an in, ale kum ak in.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul.
Mm-hmm.
But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Es snoska dramon kin.
Is this a bad time to tell Tiamat that the Neuralinks was sabotaged? No? Ooh.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Sahaan, Setson, Kin Bahamut, An Sumon, Na An Ingles, Snaloles Dishan, Na Ala An Ul An Sin An Stan In.
Yes. And this line is incredibly important because this is a kind of soft confirmation here that the Dragon Star is not one of the shards. Is outside of the Sundering. Which we knew before Shadowbringers was still undecided by Koji and Oda-san.